Okay, thank you, Leo. You are the man. Alright, so yeah, ShowX and stuff. We're back on there. I found out what I was doing wrong. It was definitely my fault and not the technology's fault. So it is now working on YouTube and on Twitch. I hope. Tell me if you can hear, I guess. Don't know how you would hear this, but there you go. So it says it's streaming, there, and I think IRC is not exploding with sadness. Nope, looks good. So the IRC, we have a bunch of people have joined in. We have Kuro who's joined us. We have Hando as well, which is nice, and we have, of course, Copy from before. So Hando says, "Sup gang," people are saying hi to each other and stuff. They're asking if Doc's here today. No, he sadly is not. Copy explains his prisoners have escaped and now he's tied up in his own basement. And it's true, that's exactly what happened. So there we have it. Right, so I want to talk a little bit about what's been going on in my life this past week. It's been, or 2 weeks actually, I suppose. It's been fairly dramatic, fairly interesting actually, for once. There's been stuff going on, stuff and things. First of all, a little point. I want to give a shout out to my parents because they celebrated their anniversary this week. So congratulations to them. I think it was 38 years. I think it was 38. So that's a long period of time to be married to somebody, and 2 more years until their Ruby anniversary. Ruby is what the 40th one is called. So that's insanely cool. So congratulations to my parents. A shout out to them. Okay. Other than that, last week my wife Kitten Features and I decided to spend a bit of time, and we went out for a weekend away, a sort of impromptu weekend away. So we went up north for 2 days, 2 nights, 3 days, I guess. Friday afternoon we left about 3-4 o'clock or something. Travelled up for 3 or 4 hours until we got near the North Peak of Scotland. It's a slight lie, we weren't actually that close, but maybe halfway up. 3/4 of the way up. 2/3, there you go. And we had this nice little lodge, which was really cheap. It was £120 for 2 nights, so £60 a night. And it was in the middle of nowhere. Like, the closest city, I suppose, is Inverness, but it was ages away. The last shop we passed was about 45 minutes away. There was a few other houses along the way and the likes, but that was it. So we had the car packed full of food and the dogs and whatever else we needed for the weekend. And we had a lovely little weekend just hidden away in the Scottish Highlands. I took a bunch of photos while I was there. You can check those out. I'm happy to do a plug to myself there. You can check them out on my DeviantArt, gohex.deviantart.com. Or if you actually want to see all of the photos, they're on my Flickr page. And that's, oh, I have no idea how to get there. Flickr.com. Oh, that's a really dumb way to get there. Is it about? If you click on about, no, this is a really. I hate the fact that some websites, like, I understand that each person has to have a unique ID, and usually it's a bunch of numbers, but why not have unique usernames? So yeah, okay, I do have a unique username, but I don't know the URL for it. But you can find me on Flickr as KenReed1. And I've got a whole bunch of photos in there, right? Like tons and tons of photos. Please do go check those out if you are even vaguely interested to see what the Highlands up there look like. There's some lovely landscape shots, but mostly it's photos of my dogs, some logs, and oh, Loch Ness is actually featured. There is Loch Ness in there, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Go check that out if you want to. Otherwise, you can check me out on Facebook as well. Okay, enough of that. I won't do any more shouting out to myself. So yeah, we went there and had a lot of fun. It was good. It was good times. Now I want to give a shout out to a weather phenomenon which actually has a name, as we often seem to be doing these days. It seems to be a common thing that we do with our friggin' weather phenomenons. And oh, thank you so much, Tom. The IRC is linking the links to my self-indulgence. Thank you. Much appreciated. Here, I'll tell you what. I'll even, if I can work out to do it. There you go. I gave you a voice. There you go. So it gives you a vaguely official-looking position to be our official IRC rep for today. There you go. Just for helping out. Don't feel like you need to do anything. I really just wanted to thank you. We had, yes, another weather thing going on this past week. Now, I believe it was in the news. in America, etc. as well, because it's quite a big thing. It was known as the Beast from the East, and it hit the UK hard, fast, and cold. Now, what this was basically, it was a phenomenon where the Arctic Circle's winds lowered down over Siberia and the likes, pulling both the coldness from Siberia and the Arctic westward in towards Western Europe and Britain, and mainly hitting Scotland. So our temperatures plummeted to -12, which is crazy for March. Like, usually we're about 8 degrees, 9 degrees Celsius, A, C to F. So like about 47, 46 degrees Fahrenheit. But instead we were, right, -10 C, we were 14 Fahrenheit, right? So it was bloody freezing. And not only that, like that was, the cold wasn't really the hard part. The hard part was the snow, right? So all of last year, snowfall, Scotland 2017. I don't know if you can actually work out how many inches there were. No, I don't think you can do that. I know there's rainfall, but I don't think you can get snowfall. No, I don't see anywhere. But last year we must have had, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches total. In this past week, we had, like, up to 2 feet in some places. 2 feet. So a foot to inches is 12 inches, right? And to centimeter, that's 30 centimeters. So we had about 2 of those. It was... copy in the IRC. ShowX episode hashtag something. Hard, fast, and cold. Oh, yeah. That's the way we like it, baby. And so yeah, this weather was absolutely nuts. So in Britain, we have this thing where we rarely ever get snow. And when we do get snow, we freak out, right? We absolutely crap ourselves. We have no idea what to do. And that's exactly what happened. All the schools closed. All the universities closed. All flights to Scotland were just all cancelled for like 2.5 days straight. So if you're flying up to Glasgow, to Edinburgh, if you're flying up north, like no matter where you're going, all cancelled. Every single flight. There's disruption down in England to an extent as well. And Northern Ireland was also hit pretty bad. And in fact, speaking of which, Dublin, Beast from the East. That's literally the name of it, Beast from the East. Where is it? I was hoping to see there's a specific news article where there was some crazy stuff going on. I think it was Dublin. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's... Okay, let me see if I can find it. But basically, the snow was so bad that people started looting. Not in Scotland as far as I'm aware, but I think elsewhere there was quite a lot of looting and stuff going on. In particular, if I can find it, I'm looking through my memes Facebook chat, thinking that would be good, but I forgot that I send literally hundreds of memes like per second, and so I can't see it. I can't believe I can't find this. This is really annoying. But anyway, so basically in Dublin, I think it was, there was lifting and looting and such. Yeah, it was Dublin. It was Dublin. Here it is. Okay, got it. Found it. 9 appear in courts following looting of Dublin supermarkets. Here we go. This is from the Independent in Ireland. Their actual version of the Independent. 9 men appeared in special court sitting yesterday after looting of 2 supermarkets in south Dublin on Friday night. The men appeared in the Court of Criminal Justice this morning after a Lidl store. So Lidl's like a European chain that's really nice because it's really cheap, right? It's ridiculously cheap food, and it's really good quality. And it's the kind of place people are for some reason embarrassed by shopping there. I don't know why. I love to shop there. I think it's amazing. It's great quality food for a great price, and it's also European food, so you get like a nice range of stuff, whereas normally we just sort of have the bog standard British stuff. So there's a bit more, you know, there's a bit more experimentation as well. There's a lot more Polish food. There's some Greek. There's a Greek section and stuff, and it's great because you get to try different cultures, right? I think it's amazing. But anyway, so I'm kind of sad to see it because I have a lot of love for Lidl, and I think it's kind of a fairly well-marketed brand, and so I'm sad to see that they broke into there. So this morning, after a Lidl store in Fortune Zone Lane in Tallaght was raided and looted, and a Centra, also in Tallaght, was broken into. 6 men were charged in connection with the incident a little. You don't really care about their names, and I don't either. They're accused of burglary and possession of stolen property. Now, the bit that's kind of amazing, if I can find it, I was kind of hoping to get... Okay, yeah, they were charged with possession of burglary and possession of a weapon, a sledgehammer. They smashed in the shutters, the cash register and cigarette machine were opened. I don't care, they're giving so much backstory, I don't care about any of that. They also deployed, they actually had like a digger, like a big truck with a digger attached, clawing open the store, and people were looting it. Nuts. Craziness. Like, the UK just lost their crap as soon as the snow hit. It was just insane. I legitimately heard a lot of people, like, really worried, genuinely worried, not even figuratively, like, they were actually worried that they were gonna die. And there were 16 deaths, last I heard. Beast, from the East, deaths. Let's see the latest toll. Ah, jeez, it's so sad. There's so many people dead. Little girl got hit by a runaway car as well. It's really quite sad, actually. But yeah, I think it was 18 last I saw. So yeah, lots of people died. The snow hit us hard. People underestimated it. There was, on the first night that it hit, we were told days in advance, by the way, this thing's coming. It's gonna hit us hard, and it's gonna be like really crazy winds and lots of snow. And people were out driving in this weather, and they were out on the motorway, and there were some people stuck on the A80 in the north of England for 18 hours overnight because they were stuck, and there was just too much snow, and there was pile-ups and stuff. Ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous. You think they'd have a bit of respect for the... That's why you should respect this kind of weather. And when you get a warning from these, like, qualified scientists who say, guys, stay inside, what you shouldn't do is say, I'm gonna go visit Gran. I'm gonna go buy a bunch of bananas, and I'm gonna go out for a jog. These are things you don't do. I'm gonna go for a long journey on the A80. No, don't do it. Cancel your plans, whatever they are, just don't do it. If you're in the wrong country, if you're in the wrong town, if you're somewhere where you shouldn't be, just pay for a hotel night or two. It's worth it because then you get to live. You know, I don't get the craziness here. I understand the want to come home and stuff, and you want to go out to your family, etc. But guys, like, there's literally life and death here. People have died. I mean, people are dying. And yeah, so we were totally snowed in as well. Our back garden, front garden, yeah, 1.5 feet of snow. Could barely get out. I walked the dogs in it, actually, because we decided to go, you know, for 5 minutes. I didn't decide, not like a half hour, an hour walk like we normally do. We decided to go for a 5-minute walk, just to see how deep the snow was. And yeah, the dogs, it was up to their chests, and I've got quite big dogs. And for me, it was up to my knees, and I'm 6 foot tall, so I'm 6'3". So, really crazy weather. It was fun. I really like the snow, so I've kind of loved this. There's still loads of it lying around, and the rivers and the likes are very swollen from all the melting snow now, now that it's starting to get a bit warmer. So, crazy, crazy weather. It's been quite fun in the UK, and quite crazy as well. Alright, other than that, let's see, oh yeah, I have one more minor announcement to make. Now, this is not a VGW thing, I'm really sad to say. I wish I could tie this in here. But I am coming to the US. Next year, well actually this year technically, on the 31st of December, Kitten and I are going to board a plane. And we're actually going to fly through the New Year's, like we did for our wedding actually. And land in time for the next New Year's, -7, in Vegas. So we're arriving on the 1st of January 2019, and we're going... Shut up, Hando. He says, Boston or we don't want you. Alright. Yeah, we're going to Vegas, and we're going to spend 6 nights there. And we were staying, I can't remember, the Mirage? I don't know if it's any good or not, but looking around, we looked at as much as we can online. I don't really know much of Vegas at all, so we decided to stay in the Mirage. We've also been looking for things to do for New Year's, so if anybody has any suggestions as what to do in Vegas for New Year's, we actually looked at this list of things to do in Vegas for New Year's, and one of the top 5 things on this list was a strip club. It's like 10 minutes from the strip. And I think it's something like $60 a head, but it's an open bar, and it's like a rooftop crazy party. for New Year's. That sounds kind of fun. Like, I'm not big on strip clubs and the likes. I kind of find them a little bit degrading to women, etc., and to men if they're there. And I even though I'm pro free choice, everybody can do what they want, etc., I do know that the stats say most people are there against their will. And so I'm not really for strip clubs. But anyway, this just sounds like a crazy fun party, though. If you're going on top of a rooftop at a strip club at New Year's in Vegas, I mean, it just with an open bar, it sounds nuts. And I kind of want to do it just because it sounds crazy. But legitimately, we're actually thinking we're going to. There's an ice rink party, and I've never ice skated before, so that could be hilarious. And that's got an open bar as well. And then we can watch the fireworks, and it'll be very romantic, and it'll be nice. And we have a few other ideas as well. Otherwise, we don't have any plans. We were tempted to go to Death Valley because Ken wants to show me it and watch me melt. I then reminded her that in Vegas, in Nevada, at that time of the year, it's about 12 degrees centigrade. In other words, 53 Fahrenheit. So it's not exactly roasting hot. It's kind of average temperature in Scotland in the summer, to be fair. But so that was funny. Right, I'm going to pay a bit of attention to IRC because I've been ignoring it. Hando says he's gotten his 7-year-old nephew to develop the Factorio virus. Pretty hard. Well done. That's quite a tough thing to get into, Factorio. Like, I struggled to get into the first time I played it. I wasn't sure if I liked it or not. And then I came back to it later and then fell deeply, deeply in love. And I developed a lust for it too. It's insatiable. I absolutely adore that game. And, it's pretty cool that you got your 7-year-old nephew into it. It's actually very good for kids, I would say, because you learn a lot about logic and logic skills, and there's a vague amount of, you know, pseudoscience behind it, but it's sciencey enough to get them interested in engineering and science. Like, you know, you make science, you literally make science packs, which is your research, which is a bit dumb. But the sort of process of logical flows of belts and robot arms and all that stuff can be very, very useful for teaching them logical processes in the mind. And I think that's a fantastic game to show them, Hando. Like, that and Minecraft are like a kid's paradise for learning and creativity. Very nice. Good choice. You're a good uncle, Hando. Uncle Hando, I like that. Tom Bad Guy says he's still to look into Factorio. I do recommend it. Like I said, it's fantastic. Well worth the price. I don't think it's too expensive, actually. Let's have a look. At I think on Steam Database, actually, the history as well. Let me go check that. Oh, geez, it's based on different countries. That's confusing. No, let's not try there. Okay, on GOG, you can get it for £15. And on Steam, it's also £15. Yeah, so it's £15. But it's well worth it. It's a fantastic game. I couldn't recommend it more. Even multiplayer is great fun as well. Really fun. I really want to get back into that sometime. After the PhD. Alright, what was I? Oh, IRC, yes. Greyfield says, why would you raid and loot affordable things? Go steal fancy stuff. You're not wrong. Yeah, right. I mean, if you're gonna steal, you gotta make it worthwhile, right? Like, if you're gonna commit a crime, you don't do it. You don't want to go to jail over something crap. Like, if you're gonna go to jail, you may as well make it worth your while. You know, like steal. To be fair, I think they stole a bunch of booze and stuff as well. So I think that was kind of the bad point. But regardless, I can see why it would be. So I actually said this to Kitten like a couple days ago. It was absolutely freezing outside, and we were kind of low on supplies. Right, we had very little food and dog food, and I realized that I was going to have to go out to our local Lidl, funnily enough, to purchase some stuff because we were going to, well, not starve, but we're going to end up eating, like, you know, just rice or something, and we still want to enjoy life. So I said I'd have to go out and get something. And she was like, "Oh, are you sure? Like, what if there's nothing there? What if it's closed?" And I said to her, "Well, you know what? If it's closed and this goes on for 5 more days, we'll loot the place because you know what? If it's life or death, that's when I'm happy to go to jail for it, right? Like, if it's literally to feed your family, looting is okay. You know, if you can't afford to do it by normal means, and the government is not helping you, and it's a crisis situation." Yep, you can go and loot the store. I mean, don't literally loot, just take what you need. But, you know, like, that's acceptable. That's the time when it's acceptable to loot. The only time. Tom Bad Guy says, yeah, go steal video games. I suppose entertainment is important, right? Right? If I even get to see more than 2 inches of snow, I stay put, says Kuro. That's generally a wise thing, especially depending on your car. I mean, if you have like a beautiful, you know, $200,000 4x4 that's got wheels made for snow and chains attached to it, you know, you've got no excuse to stay inside. You can go out if you want to. But if you're like me and you have like a little 1.2 liter tiny little car, and you know, if it smells like there's snow in the distance, you start to slide, then yeah, that's probably best to stay inside. I was actually skidding around the roads quite a bit on Friday when we were coming back from work, and it was quite fun because there's no other cars on the road, so it wasn't dangerous. It was just you know, it was just silly rather than anything. Greyfield says, we got hit with some thunder snow. Life in Canada continues as usual. We actually got hit by thunder snow on Friday as well. Yeah, there was some lightning. I didn't actually see the lightning itself, just the flashes, but it was cool though. Hando says, wow, there's nothing to do in Vegas on New Year's. It's like saying there's no video games at PAX. Yeah, I know, yeah. Tom Bad Guy says, Death Valley is a snooze fest, a big WOT. And Kuro says, you got those units wrong. It's degrees communist and degrees freedom. I've never heard that before. I love it. That's pretty good. Greyfield says, whatever you say, Kuro. Kuro says, I mainly stay off the roads in the snow because other drivers are complete morons. That's a good reason to not drive ever, though, to be honest. I mean, that's pretty much the worst thing about driving ever, is that you have to drive with other people. Don't get me wrong, if I was the only driver in the entire of the UK, I'd love it. It'd be great. It'd be quite inconvenient, but I'd love it. So yeah, I don't know what to do for Vegas New Year's. If anybody has any experience as to, even in general, things to do in Vegas, we've got 6 days there. I want to make the most of it. So do send an email, showx@vtproductions.com, or tweet me at GoHex, or I don't know, just say in the IRC if you have anything that you think is of particular worth doing in Vegas. Let me know. I'm sure Kitten is going to take me to a bunch of places, being an American and having been there before herself. But you know, anything that she hasn't done is, I'm sure there are some things that you can recommend as well, right? So if anybody has anything, please let me know. So that's gonna be fun. Vegas, baby! Vegas, baby! I'm looking forward to it a lot. But it's a whole 300 and something, days till 31st of December. 302 days to go. So that's a bit crappy. But hey, that's how we afford it, right? If you book it a year in advance, it's cheaper, and then you can pay it up as well. So that's what we're doing. We're paying a little bit per month. And that's how we're going to afford it. And other than that, next week I'm traveling away for 5 days, but I'll be back in time for the show, and it's going to be boring, and that's that. I'm going to a boring conference that's not necessarily a fun one, but it's, isn't it one of those ones where it's interesting, but at the same time you keep thinking to yourself, I should really be doing some work. Alright, so that's everything in the dysfunctional deviation section. So we should move on to the Geek Cred, and I do have some things to talk about there, actually. But let's do this officially.
I'm a geek. Are you a geek? Geek Cred, level up!
Alrighty, we're in the Geek Cred section where I will talk about pretty much whatever I've done geeky in the past week, and also whatever you guys have done geeky in the past week. So in the IRC or email in, letting me know what you've been doing that's geeky, worth some Geek Cred, and that would be interesting to know. So I want to talk a little about, well, first of all, let's do the boring one first. I purchased, I'm already wanting to fall asleep saying it. I purchased The Sims 4 the Vampire Pack for Kitten features, because it makes her very, very, very happy, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing and a very important thing to me. However, oh my god. I suppose it's probably one of the most interesting Sims packs out there. I mean, there's a lot of stuff packs. So, do any of you guys play The Sims? Because to me it feels a lot like a literal simulation, not a game. You know? Like, it literally feels to me like it's a project. Where it's not something that you're supposed to enjoy. It's more of a study. That's kind of what it feels like. Greyfield says, do the vampires sparkle? Funnily enough, in The Sims 3 they did. If you took the vampires out in the daytime, they did sparkle. But no, in this one they just sort of let off a few weird sparks that doesn't look very impressive, and complain a lot. But we made ourselves. I sat with Kitten today, and we we made ourselves as vampires. Now, I just look the same as I do now, like, pretty much. Just a dude with a beard and short hair, and I had a shirt on or something boring. Ken looks like a vampirous lord, a vampirous lady, and she's like big blooming dress and red eye. No, sorry, bright blue glowing eyes, and like I don't know, vampire stuff, like big teeth and everything. I'm just a dude who happens to be a vampire. She is a vampire. Although, funnily enough, the way that the Sims 4 works, they've got like some kind of deal with Lucasfilm, because you can have certain skins from Star Wars. So when you make a vampire in The Sims 4, you both make the way you look normally and the way you look in your dark mode or whatever it's called, like when you turn into a vampire or whatever. Ken made hers just like a more impressive version of herself, I guess. For me, I just went literally into Darth Vader. So it just looks like me walking around, but as soon as I want to feed on somebody, I just turn into Darth Vader and then like bite their neck. Because I thought it was kind of funny, because it's the most evil thing I could think of that was there. So yeah, I picked up that, and that is a game. That is a game that I have played. I also have been playing some Rocket League. So Rocket League is a freaking good game. Actually, I should probably also say, anybody there who I don't know my PlayStation name. Can I find out? Can I work that out on here? I'm trying to get. I'm happy to share my user ID so that I can play with other people's. But let's find out. So yeah, check. Oh god, I cannot multitask. You know that. I'm trying to talk on the show at the same time as well as looking up. Okay, my online ID is Orpheon. ORPHEUN. Just add me as Orpheon, I guess. I think that's how it works. I don't know. So what was I saying? Yeah, I've been playing Rocket League. I actually had my first ever 1v1 this week, and I kicked ass. I went 3-0 to this guy, and I just completely wrecked him. There was this one moment where I had an epic save, and it made me very happy too. But most of my time, and this is what I'm going to talk about for a good bit of time now, is Fortnite. So I've been playing a lot of Fortnite, especially with the snow days where I've been stuck in and I can't do much work. I've been playing a lot of Fortnite. And I'm really depressed to say that I must have about 30 to 40 hours in it, and I still haven't won a game. I've come second, I think, 12 times now? Like, 12 friggin' times. Like, I am pretty good until the end. As soon as it's me and the last person, I think I just panic. I just panic and I can't do the game anymore. And I had the worst moment today. It was me and one other guy. Oh, okay, well, let's go a little bit earlier. There was me and two other guys in solo mode. And, two of these guys were up this hill, building forts and shooting each other and stuff. I was sitting at the bottom with a legendary sniper, a legendary rocket launcher, and a legendary grenade launcher, and like an epic shotgun as well, right? Like I was set. I had full shields, full health, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna win this. I'm gonna win this. Those two idiots can kill each other, then I'm just gonna kill whoever's left, and then that's that. And I was like, great, I've totally got this. And so I hide under the bridge. So the circle closes in, and it's no longer, the hill is no longer encompassed. So I hide underneath their bridge that they built up to the hill, knowing that they're going to come down it because it's the only way to get down, right? So I'm hiding there. I'm holding my legendary rocket launcher, ready to just blow the damn thing up when they start going down it. And I'm like, easy. Easy kill, easy win, I'm finally going to win. This is my first game out of dozens of hours of playing this. I'm finally going to win a game. And the guy starts running down this friggin' bridge. I aim up. I aim like 2 meters ahead of the guy so that I don't just miss due to time. And I shoot. The guy just jumps. It does no damage. He lands on the next part. Fine. And I'm like, crap. And then my rocket launcher starts taking ages to reload. My first time ever getting to use a legendary rocket launcher. I didn't know how to reload every time, so I was like, crap. So I swapped over to my grenade launcher, which I've also got very little experience with. My legendary grenade launcher, thinking, alright, easy. He's building a little base at the bottom of this bridge now, a few wooden walls. No problem, I am Explosives Dave. In Scotland, we put the word Dave at the end of something to mean that you're good at it, by the way. I don't know why. So I'm Explosives Dave, right? Like, I've got all the explosives. So I shoot, like, 3 grenades, and they just bounce off this wall. And I'm like, what the hell? Well, why aren't they exploding? You'd think they'd explode on contact. What's going on here? And then they do explode. At my feet, where they bounced off and landed. And I absolutely hate this game. I absolutely despise it. And I hate myself even more for being an absolute moron who can't play the freaking game. And I recorded it as well. I recorded it because I thought it was gonna be my first win, and I wanted to remember my first win. It was so annoying, guys. I was just, like Ken could tell you, I probably was about to cry. Like, honestly, it was just so sad. Oh man, so depressing, so freaking depressing. So yeah, other than that, I've been playing Fortnite quite a lot with Graham. You guys know Graham. You've met him before in the show. He's been on a couple times. He is now way ahead of me, right? Like way ahead of me in levels and in tiers and stuff like that. And he's won 2 games so far. He's actually quite good at the game. We've been playing a fair bit of Duel. So the 2 of us going around against another 98 people who are also in teams of 2s. And Hando in IRC says, if you don't play Fortnite with me, I will ban you from America. I am happy to play with you, Hando, if you can play it on PlayStation. I don't have a computer. I can't play it on computer. If you can play it on PlayStation, happy to play it with you. That's the only way I can. Literally. Like, I cannot play it on a computer. Come on my work one here, but I can't install games on it, really, so... So yeah, I've been playing with Graham quite a lot, me and him doing okay. We come second quite a lot. I also played it with a few other of, like, Graham's little brother and one of our old friends from uni. And the 4 of us made a squad, and so it's teams of 4 out of 100 as well. So 100 people running around in teams of 4. I'd say that's actually harder. Weirdly enough, you'd think you can get carried by your team a little bit, but man, it is so much tougher playing in a squad, because when you fight the enemy team, you're not fighting one guy, you gotta be wary of where the other 3 are as well, and that's incredibly difficult. At least I suck at it, I should say. Tom Bad Guy says, you got a PS4, Ken? Why aren't we playing Monster Hunter World? Mainly because I don't have it, to be honest. Monster Hunter World. Oops, no. Monster Hunter World PS4. I want to see how much it is. Why do I need to put in my... I'm old enough that you should never ask me that question of age-restricted stuff. Where's the price? Where's the freaking price? Are you serious? I came all the way here, and you're not even showing me the price. Okay, I'm gonna go Amazon. £44. That's why I'm not playing it. It's on my wish list, actually. I do want to play it at some point, but right now I'm completely obsessed with Fortnite. But hey, Tom, if you want to have a few games of Fortnite, feel free to add me. ORPHEUN. Orpheon. Orpheon. Fortnite's so much fun, dude. It may not... takes a few games to get into, but it is so addictive. It's so addictive. I really do recommend it. So, other than that, let's see what else has been going on in Fortnite. They started their new season, I guess it's called, like last week. And each season is themed, and I think this one is sort of like Oriental themed. So there's like Chinese looking buildings and themes. There's a new town at the south of the map. They've got a couple new weapons, one being the hunting rifle, which is basically like a rifle that lets you zoom in without a scope. And a couple of other, I think there's another weapon, I can't remember which one. But I've not actually played the PvE part of the game yet, because that's not free. I have watched the, I play the Battle Royale, and I have bought a Battle Pass, actually. I do have that, which I'm not sure whether it was a good thing to do or not. I'm always torn on my ethics towards microtransactions. Because, in one hand, Fortnite is a game that I enjoy. I have put dozens of hours into it. The creators of this game deserve payment for their hard work, for my pleasure, right? So why would I not pay them money for this? On the other hand, I don't want to support companies that do microtransactions for content. And I suppose arguably you could say it's not content. You could arguably say that it is mainly skins and it's these sort of mini quests you can do. But to me, the quests are content. I mean, most of the stuff that you unlock with the battle pass, you have to level up to actually unlock anyway. So it just lets you access that content, as far as I'm concerned. So you are kind of paying for content, I suppose. So like I said, I'm quite torn on it. I hate microtransactions. They annoy the hell out of me. But at the same time, I'm having fun after I spent £8, is it? £8 or something like that for a battle pass? And we're getting all of our money's worth out of it. Like, all our team of 4 have all now got the battle pass, and we all now use the same skin, and we go in as a squad, and it kind of adds a level of fun to it. You know, like, we quite enjoy that. It really is quite fun. Now, I'm looking forward to see where they go with this, because I know the PvE portion of the game is like a zombie apocalypse type thing, and I like the idea of that, and I'm looking forward to going free to play, which I will do later this year, so they say. And I'm looking forward to playing it. But I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with the PvP side of things, with the Battle Royale stuff, because right now it's set that there's only one map, right? A single map. And there are 4 game modes. There's singles, duos, squads, which is 4, and squads, but every weapon is legendary. So in the game there are weapons you can pick up as you travel around playing this battle royale type game, and the weapon system kind of works in the same way as World of Warcraft, where you have, well, you don't have grey items, you have white items, which is like crap. Mediocre, well, bare bone guns, right? Bare bone guns and grenades and the likes. Then you have green for uncommon, which is fairly good. Then you have rares, which are blue, purple, which is epic, and orange, which is legendary. And legendary weapons you can rarely find around the map, but you always get them 100% from these packages that drop from the sky, which really only happens when I think it's the last 25 people or so are left. Also, people in the IRC are talking about Warframe. I don't have it installed. I believe it's free to play, but I should get it. I will get it at some point. I'm away for the next week, but remind me next week. I'll pick up. Look at us slowly turning into a PS4 freaking community here. Tom Bad Guy and I doing PS4. I think. What, does Wayne have a PS4? I think he has an Xbox, doesn't he? I can't remember. We used to be pure PC gaming, and we used to only talk about that. But I'm sorry. I know I turned traitor. I know. I'm sorry. And I think that's pretty much everything in my geek cred, though. Oh, one more thing, of course, the art contest. So we do this maybe 4 times a year or so art contest. It's ongoing right now. Let me make sure. Let me see if the end date is actually. The end date is March. End date's today. Oh, Jesus. All right, there we go. Good thing I checked, eh? Oh man, I should have had that in my calendar or something. Okay, I'm going to lock the contest after the end of the show. If you are interested in taking part in the art contest, you have an hour and 10 minutes to do it if you are listening live right now. Right now, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Next page. 10, 11 pieces in there. So you can have a maximum of 5 each that we can put up. I do recommend putting all 5 in if you can. And we have the themes of Hogmanay. So if you have any, this is how long the competition has been going on for. So if you had any photos from New Year's, right? Or any Hogmanay related art of any sort. Alcohol is another theme. Square. Snow. Digital manipulation, which is a fairly open, theme there. And finally, the quote, "Women think of all colors except the absence of color. I have said that black has it all. White too. Their beauty is absolute. It is the perfect harmony." And it's a quote from Coco Chanel. I don't know why. I just felt like I just like that quote. So this contest will end today. During the upcoming break, I will open the next contest, and that means that you have an hour left to put in any more submissions into this contest before we put it to a community vote, which will be over the next week. So please do go along, put in any art pieces that you have. They don't have to be new. If it's something that you have from before, from years ago, that's on your old DeviantArt or something, that's all welcome, right? It's totally fine. Please do feel welcome to take part. It is absolutely not a professionals only contest. It is actually for amateurs, if anything, because most of us here are amateurs, apart from maybe Wayne, who's ridiculously good at his photography. But check out all that stuff on the art contest. It's good fun. Alright, or at the very least take part in the voting over the next week. That's much appreciated as well. Like, all you need is a forum account. And if you make a forum account, let us know, because we have so many spam accounts joining. In fact, let me show you guys just what the spam accounts look like. Let me make sure these are actually all spam accounts. Yeah, I think they are. Okay, because I don't want to show anybody's email address. I'm not supposed to. Alright. Make that nice and big. Alright. So you see there? You see all these spam accounts? This has been... This is over the past few weeks. Well, since December. We've had these people all join. Right. Look at them. Look at all these usernames all made up. A bunch of Gmail accounts, Yahoos... and a bunch of, and there's quite a lot of Russian ones is a big part of it as well. That's where a lot of the spam accounts come from. Russia. And this is what I do. I say reject and send email to all of them, right? Reject and send email so that they all get kicked out, but they get told. So if you have if you are interested in having a forum account and you don't have one yet, let me know, so that when you actually do apply, I can see your username and I can accept it, okay? Then we're happy to do it. We're happy to have you on the forum, etc. Take part in any discussions that not that we ever actually use the forum nowadays. More importantly, take part in the art contest. That is totally fine. Speaking of which, if you guys have any suggestions as to how to improve our art contest, that is most welcome, because I haven't talked to Wayne about this yet, but the fact that right now we have this forum, which used to be super active, right? We used to use it all the time. We have literally tens of thousands of posts in there. Almost in one board, actually. The gaming board alone has 8,800 posts. And we've had a very active community over the years. However, in the past couple of years, it's just sort of tailed off and we don't use the forums anymore. And that's fine. So what I would like to do, ideally, is if we could have a way of tying all of our stuff together. So we use YouTube, we use Twitch, we use Twitter and Facebook. But where do you post an art contest? Is the best place going to be Facebook? But then people have to have Facebook accounts, etc. But you can say the same thing for the forums, right? People have to have an account and that's annoying. So perhaps we should do it by email, but then people can't see each other's stuff. If you have any suggestions for the best way to host an art contest, we're happy to hear them. And if you have any other suggestions, the ShowX board, which I'm going to link into the IRC right now, if I can find my IRC, there it is. We actually have a thread in there called ShowX Feedback and Suggestions. Where we only have one suggestion so far. We actually had a thread before that had like 100 replies, but I made a new one to try and, you know, move away from the old. And we only had one reply on there so far, and that was February last year. So if you have any feedback or suggestions for the show, please do post them there, or send in emails as well. That's most welcome. Hando says we should use Twitch. Start using Twitch for everything. And Kuro says that would probably make more people participate. That's a good point, but how do we do it on Twitch? How do you host an art contest on Twitch? Like, how do we have the posting capability where people can put forward a photo or poem or some music or something that stays there for others to see, and then has a poll at the end? You know, that's kind of the hard thing. The forum is quite useful for that. I mean, Facebook does allow us to use polls. That's something that exists. But then people would have to use their own personal Facebooks, etc., and some people get iffy with that. So, any recommendations are welcome. Kuro says, I like YouTube. I can use YouTube Red on my phone, listen to the show in my car, or on my Google Home. Nice, that's pretty useful. I don't have YouTube Red because it's not worth the money for me, even though I really do wish I could have the virtual wall of locking my phone and being allowed to do so. I find that annoying. Also, do you know if by any... Kuro, could you let me know, if you are looking on YouTube Red and watching a YouTube video, say the show or something, and then you lock your screen, right? So the screen's off. but you still hear it. Is it streaming the whole video to your phone still and using all that data, or is it only streaming the audio? I would love to know that. If you could let me if you know that, please let me know, because I'd like to know the answer. I think that'd be really interesting to find out. Okay, let's go on to our break here. Now, because it's only me, I'm going to take quite a long break here. Because I can need it. My throat is killing me, and I also need to make the next R contest. So yeah. Alright, let me find out. I'm feeling more Leo. I like Leo. It gets me pumped. It gets me in the mood for the show. So I'm going to see what I can find in here that's... there's a lot of bad ones. Not bad on Leo's fault. Just, I mean, bad songs that I don't like in general. Sorry, that's more like it. It's not bad, I just don't like it. Let's try these three. There's a couple here I don't really know, but let's try it out. Okay, you are listening to ShowX on VTProductions.com. We will be back. Hando is shouting for Leo as well. We'll be back in a little over 10 minutes, alright? You listen to ShowX on VTWProductions.com.
Well, this car could be systematic, hydromatic, ultramatic. Why it could be grease lightning? Grease lightning. We'll get some overhead lifters and pour out quads, oh yeah. Fuel injection caught up in chrome blender rods, oh yeah. With the force beat on the floor, never waiting at the door. You know that ain't the shit, we're beginning out of ditch. Grease lightning. Go grease lightning, you're burning up the quarter mile. Grease lightning, go grease lightning. Go grease lightning, you're cooking through the heat that trials. Grease lightning, go grease lightning. You are supreme, the chicks are green. Go grease lightning. Purple pins, satellites and 30-inch fins, oh yeah. A follow middle dashboard and two mother twins, oh yeah. We will be some bucks and sharks, I can get off my rock. You know that I ain't banging, she's a real pussy wagon, piece of lightning. Go grease lightning, you're burning up the quarter mile. Go grease lightning. Go grease lightning, you're cooking through the heat that trials. Go grease lightning. You are supreme, the chicks are queen. Go grease lightning. gotta ignite the light and let it shine. So tonight, like a 4th of July. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show what you worth. Make him go, oh, 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 as you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your guns burn. Make him go, oh, oh, oh. You're gonna leave him falling down, oh, oh. You don't have to feel like a waste of space. You're original, cannot be replaced. If you only knew what your future holds. After a hurricane comes a rainbow. Maybe your reason why all your doors are closed, so you can open one that leads you to the perfect road. Like a lightning bolt, your heart will blow, and when it's time you know, you just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. So tonight, like a 4th of July. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show what you worth. Make him go, oh, 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 as you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your guns burn. Make him go, oh, oh, oh. You're gonna leave him falling down, oh, oh.
Kenneth, this is Vegeta, Prince of all Saiyans. You've probably heard of me from TV, because apparently Dragon Ball Z is all you watch. For good reason, of course. Anyway, don't be a dick. See you later, bye!
Technology, news, and more today on the Geekoscope.
Sorry, I saw that old file saying there and I couldn't resist putting it in. So that's the voice actor for, I don't know why I find that so funny. I love the fact that the voice actor for Vegeta, Christopher is it Christopher Sabat? Yeah, Christopher Sabat, right? It's not, yeah, it's the right guy, he also did Piccolo and Yamcha. But I love that he's called me a dick. That makes me so happy. I don't know why, it really shouldn't. But it makes me very, very, very happy. Alright, so this is the this is the Geek-O-Scope as opposed to the Geek Cred section. And this is where we talk about video game news, technology news, and more, as Copy said. And whatever else we pretty much feel like. So I've got a few articles here, but again, if you have anything you want me to talk about, please do send in your emails and ideas to the IRC. Want to talk about, because I'm happy to bring up whatever you want. If you have any topics that you would like discussed or would like people in the IRC to talk about as well, do bring it up and we can all have a chat and see what our opinions are on whatever. So let's get started. So first of all, who's been playing Hearthstone recently? Have you seen the new Tavern Brawl this past few days? Is that sort of arena-esque tavern brawl where you need to pay 150 gold to actually take part, but the first time is free. Yeah, it's a bit crazy. I think they've done it before, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it because I have a quest that says to me, you know, complete 5 tavern brawls, and then I tried the free entry and I got 3 wins and 3 losses, so I got kicked out, and I haven't got my quest yet. So I have to pay 150 gold to have a chance to win my 40 gold quest. Just feels a bit off. Yeah, well, a little sad. I like it because it's a cool, fun idea that you... So basically, it's in wild mode, so you can use any card of any expansion ever made that you have unlocked to make a deck, and then you play against other people, also playing wild. And I think they're doing that to try and encourage more people to play wild anyway. I think that's kind of the part of the reason they're doing this. But I don't know. I like the idea of it, but I don't like the fact that I have to pay so much gold to take part, because I've been trying to grind my quests just to be able to do the Tavern Brawl, and I don't like that. I want to be able to play the Tavern Brawl anyway. Maybe if there was something extra, like a Tavern Brawl Prime or something, you know, that wouldn't be so bad. There's a lot of stuff going on in the IRC, and I don't want to ignore it. Everyone download the free Phantasy Star Online and play at Ephenia with pioneer2.net. And Copy said, speaking of Dragon Ball, this Android 21 wig is going to be the death of me. Android 21 is the... Wait, I don't know who Android 21 is. I don't know who that is. Who's Android 21? What's she in? I don't even recognize her. Main antagonist of Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Oh. So she's only in the video game? I don't see... Yeah, that's weird, because I don't recognize her at all. I've only ever seen the... I've seen Dragon Ball Z, some of Dragon Ball GT, I've seen some of Dragon Ball, but I've seen all of the films, because I really enjoy the films. Strange, I don't recognize her at all. So anyway, back to Hearthstone. Yeah, back to Hearthstone. There is a bit of a news article from last week that says Hearthstone is unnerfing Molten Giant and moving it into Wild. So April is an exciting time for Hearthstone. This is from IGN, by the way. Fans each year, as it's when the game changes the most. Not only is a new expansion released, but it marks the beginning of a new Hearthstone year, when a full year's worth of cards leave the standard format. Suddenly hundreds of staple cards, some of which the community has been playing for up to 2 years, are gone, and the game is turned on its head. This year's set rotation will say goodbye to the Year of the Mammoth, and with it the cards from Whispers of the Old Gods, One Night in Karazhan, and the Mean Streets of Gadgetzan, and say hello to the Year of the Raven. What will be the first... What the first expansion will be, we don't know yet, but you can take a guess based on the teaser image below. So there is an image there. Let me actually share my screen so you can see it. There you go. So that's the image there. There we go. I think you can see my mouse. So it's Year of the Raven. Now the first one looks kind of nature-y, I guess. Maybe it's an Emerald Dream type one. The second one looks very Void or Nether or Area 51, kind of World of Warcraft zone. And the third one, that's a pretty tough one to discern. I don't know what that one could be. I'm unsure actually. I'm really stumped with that. But yeah, the first one's probably nature-y, second one's arcane-y, and the third one, who knows. First and foremost, Blizzard today announced that in-game tournaments are coming to Hearthstone, allowing players to create their own custom tournament and invite friends to play, all from within the game client. That's really cool. So, this is one of the most requested features since Hearthstone's inception, and notable absence as the game has grown as an e-sport. In-game tournament support will be launched as a beta around the middle of the year, which is ages away, by the way, at least 3 months. And from the sounds of things, will be relatively bare bones to begin with, handling matchmaking and locking down deck lists. The plan, however, is to add new features and functionality over time. I'm not so sure about that approach, but I'm glad they're doing it. That's pretty good. I think it's a cool mode that they're adding in, and I'm glad they're finally doing it. And also, you know, I've always been jealous of the fireside tournaments because there's never any near me, and I've always been interested in going along and taking part, even though I suck. Partly because I think if you just take part, you get like some cool stuff unlocked, which is always neat. So there's a few cards that are going away at the end of this Year of the Mammoth in Hearthstone. First up is the Mage Secret Ice Block, which prevents lethal damage being dealt when active, thus buying mages an additional turn to draw into the cards they need to finish their opponent. It's been a staple of mage decks since the beginning, and while a very cool card, literally, it has allowed for some very uninteractive strategies. Next is the Cold Light Oracle, the neutral minion that anybody can use, whose battle cry allows both players to draw 2 cards. It's getting put into wild only and removed from standard because it offers unusually strong neutral card draw, which can be detrimental to class identity. Its downside can destroy opponents' cards and prevent opponents from playing the deck they built, which in turn limits some designs related to battle cry and effects that return a minion to hand. Taken individually, any one of these reasons might not be enough to prompt a promotion to the Hall of Fame, but when viewed as a whole, we feel that it's time for the Cold Light Oracle to leave standard play. And the last card for many players, the most exciting, is Molten Giant, which will not only be going into the wild format, but will be reverted back to its original mana cost, which is 20 instead of 25. Yes, the staple of old-school hand-lock decks is being unnerfed, which means that the iconic Warlock Giants-filled archetype may once again have a home. This is going to be a hugely popular decision, as it takes a much-loved card that was nerfed out of every subsequent meta and gives it back to the community to have some fun with. I'm not so sure how I feel about that, but I don't really care about Wild anyway, so I guess that my opinion doesn't really matter on it in the first place anyway. Do any of you guys actually play Wild in Hearthstone? Do let me know. Or in fact, who actually still plays Hearthstone? I still do play it. Not a lot, but I still enjoy it. I've gotten quite a few legendaries recently as well. And I'm still terrible. I'm still like rank 19 or 20 max. I got the Shaman legendary weapon, which is, it's like costs 8 mana, and I think it's like 3/3 or something. So 3 attacks for three different times. And every time you cast it, every time you attack, a random spell is cast with a random target. So it's not necessarily a good thing, you know? Like, who knows what it's going to be like. It's kind of a random... I find it fun, though. I like it. Okay. Next up is Papers, Please, short film, out now, free to watch. So this is an excellent 10-minute film based on Lucas Pope's powerful game from 2013, Papers, Please. And it's out now. It's free to watch on YouTube and Steam. It does a wonderful job at capturing the bleak tone of Lucas Pope's frantic puzzler and the moral quandaries suffered by his border-crossing immigration officer in the made-up state of Arstotzka. Now, the game, Papers, Please, was huge. I don't know if you guys remember. It's an indie game which just blew up. People loved it for some reason, and people are still cosplaying as it all the time. It just seems to be like the thing that's in just now. People seem to really love it. So, if you loved Papers, Please, there's a short film out that you can go watch. The link is in the IRC now. There you go. So go check that out. And thanks again, IGN, for the article. Alright. So I don't normally like to talk about... Well, that's a lie. I love talking politics, what am I saying? But I don't normally try to take sides. And that's true. But this is actually an article on IGN, and it's pretty unusual to see any kind of truly political article on a gaming news website, because generally speaking, these, except for maybe Gamergate period, where there was a lot of the social justice stuff everywhere, this is the first time I've seen Trump mentioned directly in the title of an article on a big gaming news website. So this is again from IGN. Trump to meet with game industry executives to discuss video game violence. So for those who didn't hear us last week, we talked about how, or 2 weeks ago, we talked about the fact that Trump has actually said that he believes part of the reason that we have all these shootings in the US, etc., is due to video game violence. Which, by the way, okay, I don't want to do an appeal to authority. I refuse to do it. So I'm going to instead show you why that's a bunch of crap. Video game violence. There's a great website, so you guys know Google, everyone knows Google. But do you know of Scholar? Scholar is a small section of Google where you can search for scientific articles instead of normal web results. And to get there, you go to Scholar, scholar.google.com, right? And in there, you can search for articles, scientific articles, and you can see by the number of citations if they're vaguely realistic or not. Now, some of the things are behind paywalls because some people refuse to let their work be seen unless you pay for it. Right? That's just the way it is, sadly. For me personally, I'm sitting in a university right now, so I have unlimited access to the vast majority of these papers, which is very useful. So, using that right now, I am now looking up video game violence. And there's this great... here we go, the second one here. It's been cited almost 500 times. It's an empirical literature review on video game violence. The abstract says this. The popularity of video... This is from Karen E. Dilla and Jody C. Dilla. Oh, that's interesting. They must be sisters or wife and wife or something. I don't know. But I don't see what institute they're from, sadly, so I can't mention that. I'm not sure where it is. But this is published in... I can't see that either. I've clicked. I'm too far. I'm too deep down. I'm too deep into it. These guys are from the Lenore Rhine College in Hickory, NC, USA. All right. So the popularity of video games, especially violent video games, has reached phenomenal proportions. This is from 1998, by the way. The theoretical line of reasoning that hypothesizes a causal relationship between violent video game play and aggression draws on the very large literature on media violence effects. Additionally, there are theoretical reasons to believe that video game effects should be stronger than movie or television violence effects. This paper outlines what is known about the relationship between the two, violence in video games and aggression. The available literature on virtual reality effects on aggression is discussed as well. The preponderance of evidence from the existing literature suggests that exposure to video game violence increases aggressive behavior and other aggression-related phenomena. However, the paucity of empirical data, coupled with a variety of methodical problems and inconsistencies in these data, clearly demonstrate the need for additional research. Okay, so I chose an article that basically says we don't know enough yet. I'm sorry. I'm going to choose a more recent one, since 2014. Okay, let's try this one. This one has not many citations, about 20 or so. And it says, does movie or video game violence predict societal violence? Depends on where you look and when. And here is a different one here. And in the abstract it specifically says, brilliant, here it says, this study explains that it is unlikely that there is a link between violence and video games, and in fact, in certain individuals, it reduces the tendencies to violence from video games. So, okay, there's a mix here anyway. Okay, I was kind of hoping to be more definitive, to be honest. I was kind of sad that I didn't find something straight away. I'll be honest. So, kicked myself in the teeth there. Okay. So, despite the claims of Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders, the ESA told IGN no meetings have been formally offered. The full statement reads, ESA and our member companies have not received an invitation to meet with President Trump. The same video games played in the US are played worldwide. However, the level of gun violence is exponentially higher in the US than in other countries. Numerous authorities have been examined the scientific record and found there is no link between media content and real-life violence. There we go. The US video game industry has a long history of partnering with parents and more than 20 years of rating video games through the Entertainment Software Rating Board, ESRB. We take great steps to provide tools to help players and parents make informed entertainment decisions. So, Trump has said that he's planning to meet these with the industry execs, etc. He hasn't got in touch with any of them. It's a lie, and they go on to say specifically that the studies prove that there is not a causal link between violence and video games. Okay, and that's from IGN. Okay, my last article before I head off is former Bioshock Dishonored devs announce new game, The Blackout Club. So this is a cooperative horror game from Question, a studio built by industry veterans whose work include Bioshock 2, Bioshock Infinity, and Dishonored. The game follows a group of teens in a small town who band together after learning they've all been temporarily losing consciousness. None of the adult members of the community will speak to the kids about the incidents, including the disappearance of one of their close friends. Instead, the group launches its own investigation. What they discover is a hostile underworld beneath their town, populated by a clandestine group of adults. Characters are customizable, each with a variety of powers and equipment loadouts. Group members each have their own roles to play in gathering evidence to prove the crimes of the adults, including deploying drones and traps. At the end of their missions, at the end of each mission, players level up and acquire new abilities for use on future outings. Horror games continue to expand their reach, and that looks awesome. So thank you, IGN, again for that article. So that looks pretty exciting. I'm really excited because I love Bioshock, I love Dishonored, and this new game, The Blackout Club, a co-op horror game with RPG elements, sounds pretty fantastic, and I'm really excited. Blackout Club. I wonder if there's got any release date or anything like that. Oh, and it's for PS4. It's coming for PlayStation 4. This one article from denofgeeks.com says there's a Stephen King vibe to the story's premise, especially once you dive into the plot details concerning an underground world of mysterious adults. Okay, I'm pretty excited for that. The Blackout Club for PlayStation 4. It looks really exciting. Okay, I think that's going to do it for the show. I'm afraid we're going to cut it short by half an hour because I am getting rather tired and running low on content, to be honest. Okay, you have been listening to Showikes on VTProductions.com. If you haven't already, please do check out the art contest. It's much appreciated. Actually, I should mention that right now. We've got the next one up there and alive. I think I dropped a link into the IRC, but if not, let me do it again. There it is. So our new themes are animals, wood, anime, everyday objects, at work, and the quote, there is a way out of every box, a solution to every puzzle. It's just a matter of finding it. And that's from Jean-Luc Picard from Star Trek The Next Generation. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different themes to choose from for the art contest. And the end date is June 3rd, so you got a fair bit of time. But remember, the other one is ending now. I will go and end it either tonight or tomorrow, possibly when I'm on the train. Thank you all for listening in. Again, feel free to add me on PlayStation because I'm there quite a lot. ORPHEUN, Orpheon. We'd love to see you guys there. Otherwise, thank you everybody for a great show. Much appreciated. And we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. See you next zombie.